Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind! Look deep into the hate in my eyes!
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm a 25-year-old piece of gold, a microphone messiah, the X Factor of podcasting, a California classic, a generational talent. But you know, I never do it alone. Excuse the very loud noise that is happening outside of my bedroom. I don't know what's going on out there. It sounds like a giant vacuum. Anyway, I never do it alone. He's my tag team partner, the Jim and my J, the Totem Arm, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. He is the current reigning, defending, and 12-time Bulletcast champion, the Canadian Destroyer, BT12, Brandon Tanguma. How you doing, man?
Phillip, I'm doing fantastic. It's Thursday. Hopefully, we actually record it on Thursday instead of having to come back and double deck on Friday.
I've fixed those problems. That will not happen again here.
Remember, everyone, clean out your storage because you never know what's going to happen. Gotta keep everything clean.
That's the thing. There's nothing there. Like it's all like on the cloud, or like I have some stuff on a hard drive. Like I've checked the hard drive space. The hard drive has so much space, so much space. Like Yokozuna, Mabel, Umaga, Big Daddy V and Mabel are the same person, but you get my drift. All those people can fit in the hard drive. That's how much space there is.
Okay. Well, let's get into it.
We're still doing this. HD for life on teesprings.com. Socials, Twitter and Instagram, hd.4.life. Designs, Get Her Done 1 and 2. Hurry Up 1 and 2. Mr. Sapa 1 and 2. H-Dog. Mother's Love. King H-Dog. H-Dog dash Get It. Mr. Pimpin'. HD for Life Americana. Common Sense Soldier H-Dog. Life Safety. HD for Life Safety. Lily's Love. HD for Life Safety or HD for Life Orange and Pink. Softball Life. Reunite Generations. Little Renna. Little H-Dog Explode. Show Quality 1, 2, and 3. Drinkware. Fanny pack. Socks. Hoodies. T-shirts. Sweatpants. Tank tops. Face masks. Tote bags. Mugs. Pillows. Beach towels. Posters. Blankets. Phone cases. And stickers. So much more, guys. Go over there. HD for Life. Teesprings.com. You know you want it. Brandon, I was at UGWA. Megalomania 6 this past Saturday. Did a little commentary. Did a little live commentary. It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Well, tell us about that great time because the Bulletcast hotline is ringing.
Okay, I see. It was cool, man. I mean, I did the first two matches. It was the young upstart Titus Alexander, who's the San Jose champion. That's a beautiful championship. Shout out to West Coast Design. He went up against the dreadheaded pirate D Rogue, Love Rogue. They tore it up, man. They had a really good, solid contest. And then next up was Mike Hayashi going up against Vinny Wasco. Wasco, he's been in the game for a little bit. His partner Alonzo Alvarez, showed up with him. And then it became a handicap match, and then the referee he got knocked down, so Orange Shoes had to come out there. Shout out Orange Shoes, love chopping it up with him. And then I forget the guy's name, Carlitos something. Dude would do it with a mask on. He made the run in to be Hayashi's tag partner, and he was in and out just like a robbery, man. Came in, helped Hayashi get the win, and that was it. I was like, oh, okay. It was cool, man. I had a lot of fun. Gave me a little experience of doing it live. I'm happy to show up again, Anthony. Thank you so much, man. And but after the show, I interviewed David Edge, the king of vlog style. That was fun. That was interesting. I mean, the first time in history a recorded conversation has happened between a king and a messiah. I'm making history out here.
It will go down in history. All the kiddies are going to learn about this time where the king and a messiah sat down and talked at a pool table in an arcade.
Yes.
Just legendary stuff.
Yes. Who else is doing this? Who else is making the time to do this? Brandon, what did you think about the interview?
I thought it was a really good interview. I'll be honest. I have no idea who this person was before you did the interview, and it was a fun conversation. He's on the grind. He was making some moves before the pandemic started, and the pandemic hits, and just like everybody, it gets shut down. And then so now that hopefully everything is starting to pick up again during the summertime, trying to broaden his horizons across California, the West Coast, maybe going over to the East Coast, and things like that. So it was interesting.
Probably my favorite part of the interview. Delilah Doom makes the run in and starts doing the jazzercise. Starts getting the blood pumping. If you don't know who she is, she's a part of a tag team with Eli Everfly, Doomfly. Yo, man, they put on one of the best tag team matches I've seen in person, and I've seen the Bucks and the Lucha Bros tear it up together. Okay, they went up against the world's freshest tag team. Shout out to my boys, man. I mean, Eli Everfly grabbed a ladder. He did a giant moonsault off of it. There was a door backstage. I'm like, I hope somebody uses that tonight. She went through the door. She got hit with a lariat. Her headband came off. Zoe put it on and just started trolling. I mean, it was really fun. It was a really good tag team contest. Don't be surprised if you see Delilah Doom on the show anytime soon. Don't be surprised.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. SmackDown happened. There's only one thing to really talk about. We had a Hell in a Cell for the first time in 20 years or almost 20 or over 20 years on free television. Roman Reigns defended the Universal Championship against the legendary Rey Mysterio. And of course, the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table, defeats Rey Mysterio to retain the Universal Championship. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Hell in a Cell happening on free TV? And what were your thoughts of this Hell in a Cell match?
Well, I think we talked a little about it last week when the news came out. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of just throwing the Hell in a Cell just out there all willy-nilly, but SmackDown's ratings are not exactly the best in the world, even though Roman Reigns is doing great stuff. And I think maybe WWE booked themselves into a little bit of a corner with the Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns match because they probably wanted Roman to go on last, but then maybe they didn't. I mean, Roman needs to go on last, but they didn't want him to go on last, and that's his gimmick, and yada, yada, yada. And maybe they didn't want, Daddy Ray, who's trying to fight for the love and affection of his son, to just get his thing whipped on Father's Day. So maybe there are some other external factors. Maybe they're trying to please Fox, but then apparently now that Fox and Peacock aren't exactly happy at WWE because
Peacock. Why isn't Peacock happy? You mean USA?
Well, we'd have for NBC Universal, the multi-million billion-dollar conglomerates that still can't get a deal with Amazon, so I can have a regular app on my Fire Stick. But that's neither here nor there.
It is what it is. But I mean, the thoughts on the match itself.
Well, the match itself, it was fine. It was pretty much what you'd expect. I think Ray and Roman have a pretty good chemistry. But at the end of the day, Roman laid the smackdown on Ray as he should. And this is kind of the problem with the Roman Reigns character is that he just is put over so strong day after day after day that, Ray was already kind of a weak challenger to begin with. Now, where do we go from here? We got, Jay and Jimmy kind of staying in line.
Oh, he has to wrestle Dominic now.
I mean, whew. That's going to sell out. That's going to put butts in the seats.
I'm still waiting on Roman and Baron Corbin to sell out. Well, they kind of did at the Rumble 2020. They sold it out,
I was told they were going to tear the house down one day.
The other guy was right. I saw one of our young boys at the show.
And how was he?
He acted like he didn't even know I existed, bro. I'm like, all right.
Dang.
I'm like, yo, I tried to give you a little fame. This how you treat me? All right.
Which one? Is it the famous one or is it, the other ones that aren't on the podcast?
The other one that was training to be a wrestler.
The one, my favorite young boy?
No, not that one. The other one. Yeah.
How's he doing? How's my favorite young boy doing? Have you ever seen him see MMA? Maybe he's in MMA.
I don't know, man. He kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Well,
hopefully he resurfaces.
Hopefully.
Him and Copenhagen Smith, where are you guys at?
They're over in the island with Tupac and Elvis right now.
Oh, man. Elvis is on the island? I'm more like Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, Tupac, Elvis, Youngboy, Copenhagen Smith. They're just all sitting there chilling in the Bermuda Triangle. JBL goes in, gives them supplies and stuff, but
he lives in Bermuda. That's interesting. We had to make a trip to Bermuda one day. Anyway, the match was cool. I mean, it served its purpose. Roman, he just had to start laying out fools. Like, none of these longer matches. He just needs to start just beating people within 3 to 5 minutes. Like, he could have done that to Rey Mysterio here. Yeah, but given the fact it was a Hell in the Cell, probably not. But I'm saying Dominic, he can beat him in 3 to 5 minutes. Just late. And he broke out a new choke, the cravat.
I mean, he's a submission specialist.
Exactly. He ended the career of a submission specialist, so you start adopting some new traits. I like it. The guillotine won't work hard. Let me bust out this cravat. Okay, they slipped out of that. I got that spear in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yes, sir. We shall wait to see what else goes on with SmackDown and Roman Reigns. Joey Janela crashes a mass meeting. It was in some county in Florida. Drake Warts or Drake Younger, he controversial figure. He was at the meeting. Janela snapped a photo with him, and Janela went there to be a troll and cause an uproar, and he got kicked out. And I think he's already selling merch with that that picture of him at that meeting. Shout out Joey Janela.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm not surprised that Joey Janela did something like this.
You didn't see this?
I'm a hardworking man, Phillip. I have to, do so many important things.
Bro, look it up on Twitter, dude. Yeah, it was at this meeting, and they're like, those people are against masks anyway, and they had like these kids up there talking like, masks, they don't help us, they make it hard to breathe. I'm like, kid, you could have died if you didn't have that on your face. You know what I mean? Shout
out Joey Janela posting a picture of him with Grimace. And then Macho Man was also with Grimace. That's
Yes. God bless Joey Janela. All right, some sad news. Melissa Coates, or aka Super Genie, she has passed away. She passed away yesterday. Sabu's girlfriend and manager. I believe she was battling cancer. Hey, it's unfortunate. Cancer is a very, very treacherous disease, and it has taken some of the world's finest. So RIP to Melissa Coates. I don't really know much about her, so I'm not really going to go in depth here. I don't want to do her legacy a disjustice. Brandon, do you have any thoughts about the death of Super Genie?
Well, I did see this on Twitter yesterday, that I saw some of the local promotions and some other people kind of talk about it. And yeah, I mean, she was kind of the valet manager, companion to Sabu kind of on the indie scene. So, I mean, it sucks to see. Just like you, I'll be honest, I didn't know too much about her, but I mean, obviously she made an impact in the business and people enjoyed her work and, enjoyed who she was. So, RIP, and unfortunately she, taken too soon.
Yes. WWE could be bringing back themed episodes of television, Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, this is something to boost up ratings, once they're back in front of a crowd. And one of the things that has really been surfacing around is King of the Ring. And look, I said this, I want to say like around WrestleMania 35 or whatever, a little after that. Look, when we have those lull periods in between Mania and Money in the Bank or SummerSlam or whatever, that's when you break these kind of things out. Like, so WrestleMania is usually in April, right? Okay, cool. We do something. We do something to get us through May and June, which is I proposed the King of the Ring tournament, and and I heard Huey say this, that like if the person is still with the company who's like had the crown, in this case Baron Corbin, they would wrestle whoever like gets to the finals. The final match is you wrestle the sitting king, like kind of like if it's a championship title. I'm like, I'm not opposed to that. And you know what? When we have that lull period between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, break out a Queen of the Ring, do something different. Why not?
We did get a little mention of King of the Ring during the opening segment with Kofi and Xavier Woods saying that he's waiting to get the King of the Ring comeback. But I mean, it makes sense why WWE is looking at this, because right now ratings are not the best. They're still at the top, but I mean, just critically and just how everyone's feeling about the product, it's not very good right now at the moment. And it would make sense for why they're trying to bring back these gimmicks, and it's kind of what they do. Bring back the legends, because what they did like old school SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and that popped a decent rating for them. And so it would make sense why they're doing it, but I also kind of see this for what it is just kind of putting lipstick on a pig when there is just far bigger issues in the product in general, and they're not selling that many tickets. And I wonder, I'm not saying they're just going to say, screw the fans, we're going to move back to the Thunderdome, but maybe the first couple months, maybe by the end of the year, there will be some sort of grace period when they, show up at a town for the first time. But then after that, it's like, if they're not producing good television, they're already struggling to sell tickets regardless. And so that's just, it's going to be interesting to see what WWE does with fans in attendance, because I think AEW will be fine. They thrive. If anything, they'll get better because the atmosphere. WWE, I am very intrigued to see what happens with crowds.
Absolutely, it's gonna. I mean, they're gonna do good business once they that like you said, with that first month that they're back in front of people. But I mean, it's going to be something interesting to see, man. It really shall. They also thought about bringing back like kind of like the Cyber Sunday, like where the fans decide what's going to happen throughout the show. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I remember those Cyber Sunday pay-per-views or those Taboo Tuesdays being very entertaining back in the day.
And it would make sense, especially, I mean, they haven't done it in however many years, and now with social media, and it's even easier to interact, to get polls up and things of that nature. But I mean, for the most part, it's always gimmicked and it's worked to where you already know probably before you go in where the crowd will lean with the options. But if it's something different, if it's something that they think will add value to the product, because I think they do realize that maybe they're not doing the best stuff right now, but maybe Vince doesn't care because they're just making so much money.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. All right, the cops were called for a GCW mud show. Yeah, they were in Wyoming, and Nick Gage, the GCW heavyweight champion, he was just on Sam Roberts' podcast. Go check that out. I forget who he was wrestling, but he's the death match guy. That's his gimmick. That's what he does. The cops were called because there were some complaints, and they thought it was still real to them. Damn it.
It's still real to me, damn it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird scene because normally these things don't really happen in wrestling, but occasionally some things might get out of hand every now and then the cops got to get involved.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Karrion Cross on main event, not in the main event, but on main event. Wrestled Shelton Benjamin, getting a main roster tryout. Him and Bronson Reed. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know exactly where to go with this because it's like Karrion Cross and Bronson Reed both are really good talents. Now, are they main event talents in the real sense? Probably not, but I don't understand why you put them on main event as like a tryout when they have NXT and they do, good work over there. And like, what's really the difference between Vince maybe it's like just in person wise, watching them in person to see how everything pans out compared to in NXT. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I mean, main event is just so low down on the level that no one watches it to where it shouldn't really affect them one way or another. I haven't seen the results, but I would assume both of them won. But it's just kind of weird. It's something we don't really see all too often of someone making like their WWE debut, quote unquote, like on a C-level show. But I mean, I guess that's what they do.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see how that plays into their favors moving on with their possible main roster careers. Hopefully they did good enough work to where let's be like, all right, we'll give you a tryout. West Coast Pro, they're bringing the heat coming up on July 9th. Cruel summer. It's about to be a cold summer, man. I mean, you look at this. You got Vinny Massaro, Levi Shapiro, Titus Alexander, Slice Boogie. I mean, some matches have been announced. Trey Miguel, Starboy Charlie, Lee Moriarty. You got Juicy Finau, Levi Shapiro, and Jarrell Nelson and Carl Fredericks. The big effing deal is back in the Bay. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Excited to see Carl back. Haven't seen him in, I don't know, like a year and a half when New Japan came to San Jose.
Yeah, it was late 2019. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this will be my first indie show I'll go to since a little hiccup happened in the past year or two.
Something called COVID.
I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I've kind of been slipping a little bit when it comes to like the Bay Area indie scene. So to kind of get back in it, some of the names I know, a lot of the names I don't know, to be honest. And I've heard good things about West Coast Pro, so I'm excited to see what's up with them. And I don't know if there's still tickets available, and if you guys are in the area, come check it out. Come say hi. Don't be a stranger. And then maybe, we have an after party. I don't know. No promises.
Yeah, man. Bullet Cast will be in full effect. Cindy will be there as well. I believe she's wearing her Bullet Cast shirt. I don't know about this guy here, though. You know, not don't wear the OG one. No, don't wear that one. The current logo.
Well, you know, like
I
the
mean,
way
I thought about breaking out the title at the show. You're the champion. It would just make sense. But I guess not. I guess not, right? No.
Well, yeah.
No.
Well, you know, the way my job is working out right now is, you know, it's a startup, and so
Okay,
they're like really like iffy right now when it comes to like the payroll. I still haven't actually been on payroll technically. They just keep Venmoing me stuff, so I'm just gonna have to pay a bunch of taxes at the end of the year, and so I'm just saving my money right now.
Okay.
I mean, we're just gonna ignore the PlayStation I bought last week, but you know, that was an essential purchase I had to make.
Okay.
My sanity. And
I
I
understand.
mean, eventually, I know we're going through a rebrand right now, so I don't know what I don't want to be just like the OG Bullet Cast shirt where I get it, and the next thing I know, we get demonetized. And
no. That's the logo for the remainder of the show
for the rest of time, never changing.
It's on a championship. It has to be.
Okay, I mean, okay. But maybe there'd be like slight little tweaks or something.
No, because then I'd have to get another championship made.
And we can do like a color change, you know, maybe make it like more like, you know, we'll come out with like different colors and different flavors, you know. Maybe I'll get my own T-shirt. You know,
well, we have to sell more shirts in order for that to happen.
Well, I mean, you know, then maybe someone should buy a T-shirt. I mean,
should buy a T-shirt. Dominic, buy a T-shirt. Friends, family, but buy a T-shirt. Come on, guys. I have ideas for other designs, but in order for that to happen, we got to sell some more shirts. Yeah.
Spare change.
Yeah. All right. Fan mail in Brightest Day X.
Mr. X.
Congrats to Mustafa Ali and his wife on the announcement of their third child. Hey, and everybeing having babies. Everybody's
so many babies.
Bro, did you hear you hear Jim Cornette being a derogatory imbecile? He made some comments about.
I thought that was just a given.
No. I mean, he made some. Actually, here, let me get this. Let me get this so you people can hear this, guys. I want to do a service to the wrestling community here. Where's it at? Where is it at? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. What do you think Jim Cornette said? Do you know?
Well, if we're talking about babies, I would assume maybe
Here it is.
Brandy had to be in the picture.
Oh God.
I did. Smuggling that watermelon under her dress. Did you notice that Brandy had to be in the picture? I did. Smuggling that watermelon under her dress.
That's the little clip, but you can basically gather the rest. I mean, come on. I thought he learned from his Ethiopia chicken joke. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? What is he doing?
I mean, this was also the same guy who back in the 90s at Smoky Mountain Wrestling started a race riot with, the gangsters. But, you know, I'm just.
Yeah, Mr. I want you to sleep with my wife. Anyway, back to Mr. X's comments or questions. Any idea who is behind the battery charge graphic on NXT? I have no idea. Are you aware, Brandon? You're the NXT guy on the show.
Well, I mean, we're talking about NXT on the show, so I would assume, Phillip, that means you actually watch the show, but maybe not. But, you know, it was kind of a blink and you miss it things, even though they did do it 3 times. But, you know, Mr. X, I know you listen to me, you know, listen to Curveball and Chair Shots and the Bullet Cast, but over on Curveball and Chair Shots, we talk about NXT all the time, and I rightfully predicted what was going to happen with Diamond Mine. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But when it comes to the battery charging, that's literally all it was just a black screen with like the battery charging logo on it. I mean, it's very vague. I'm trying to
Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish is already back. I'm trying to think of. Yes,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of who is like kind of out there, unless if it's Finn Balor, which would make sense.
That wouldn't make sense.
Why wouldn't it make sense?
I said that would make sense.
Well, okay, it definitely would make sense. And
gotta let the batteries charge.
This one doesn't, you know, I can't really say like this makes. I mean, it's just a charged battery, so anything is just like, oh, I just had to recharge my batteries and, you know, get fresh. But Kevin Owens said on Twitter he will be taking a break after his loss to Sami Zayn at Hell in a Cell. And if they're not going to really rotate or do any call-ups and keep the NXT brand and the roster the way it is, I would say Kevin Owens is probably the best person to pluck from the main roster and put him back in NXT.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. How excited are we that the Good Brothers are returning to New Japan? Oh, of course. That's where it all started for those boys. I mean, Luke Gallows, if you want to get technical, Festus is where it started for him. But those guys as a duo, it all started in Japan.
Excited to see. I mean, they got a big return to the United States coming, I believe, in like August or September. Mox is going to be there. Jay White, all kind of the Gaijins are going to be there, and it's going to be a big show. I'm excited to see what they can do over there.
Yes. How good of a match will Kenny and Jungle Boy put on this Saturday? I think it'll be all right. I still haven't even watched AEW from last week.
I think this match is going to be really fun. Honestly, the Jungle Boy matchup with Kenny Omega is I think a bigger deal than the Double or Nothing triple threat main event. So I'm excited to see what they can do. Obviously, Kenny is going to win, but they're going to do great work, and I think they're going to be like maybe one or two near falls that maybe they could get me into possibly talking myself into Jungle Boy winning the championship. But I mean, I don't know if I'm excited to see what happens because it's a biggest match of Jungle Boy's career. As someone who's seen him in the past 5 years, make his way up through the ranks, and now he's wrestling Kenny Omega on TNT for a major championship. I mean, as much as I liked him on the indie scene, I don't know if I could have seen that happening to him this quickly.
Yeah. It's a sight to see. That's what I said, man. It's in the water here. It's in the water in the bay. You dip your toes in this water, quasi guarantee success. He feels me.
Look, you know what, Mr. X? Okay, we're gonna answer your questions. All right, calm down. You don't have to call.
I don't have the call. His last one is: how soon do you think we'll see Damian Priest? With the reports that he could be returning as soon as next week. Yeah, he's nursing a back injury. He worked through WrestleMania with it, so that's why we haven't seen him on TV. Hopefully, he is back next week. I think he would have been a great candidate for Money in the Bank. I think he would have. Oh, we got a last minute one. Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Who, he has returned.
Yes, says mates. Nikki Cross's new gimmick. It is what it is. Let's wait and see, as you guys like to say. Plus, what's your favorite Money in the Bank ladder match of all time? Oh man. Favorite.
Hold on, let me back it up. Let me answer Mr. X's question about Damian Priest's back injury. I mean, I'm hoping everything fixes itself and he gets better. He is a little up there in age now. Damian Priest is exactly like the best talent in the world, and he could go up against anybody. But like just looking around the roster, Damian Priest is kind of one of the only people kind of off the bat that I can think of to go and challenge Bobby Lashley for the championship because they're top tier main event talent. That's really Drew McIntyre, and that's it. And as much as I love Kofi has not been booked, that great, and it's kind of a stretch for him to be in the title mix right now. But Damian Priest is one of those guys that I could see, facing Lashley. Maybe not at SummerSlam because maybe they want Brock, but maybe afterwards.
Maybe like a Clash of Champions or something like that. You saw the graphic I threw up of Lashley and Roman on the Bullet Cast. Have you seen that?
I mean, of course I've seen it, Phil.
Hopefully we get that. Hopefully we get that. Okay. No, but like I said, man, or like oh my God, what's his name? Hootie Who 420. Like he said.
Hootie Who.
What's your favorite Money in the Bank ladder match of all time, man? I'm currently watching Money in the Bank 2016. This was a really good card, man. Like it doesn't get talked about. I mean, you got Ziggler and Corbin, you got Styles and Cena for the first time. You got of course the Money in the Bank ladder match that Ambrose wins. You have Roman and Seth wrestling for the WWE title. Back when there was, less championships in WWE. It's a good time, right?
I will be honest. As much as like the matches themselves are good, I can't exactly remember one off the top of my head that I can be like, oh yeah, that one was like fantastic, and that's like one of my favorite ones of all time. I think for me, I maybe would want to go back like in time to like the first one. Was it 21? I mean, I really enjoyed that one just because it was, new and different, and it was, new and different. So, I mean, as I said, I don't exactly remember them, to be honest. So I'm just going to go with the first one.
I mean, let me go back through the repertoire here. The one Daniel Bryan won in 2011, I remember that one being very good. The one Orton won in 2013, that was like a star-studded one, like all former world champions. That was really cool.
What about the one where Brock just showed up and did nothing?
Oh, of course.
And Ali looked like an idiot just standing there on top of the ladder.
Honestly, that was a pretty good one. I do remember that one. 2017, I remember that one where AJ was just hanging off the thing and he took that crazy bump. Yeah, I mean, obviously when we think cash-ins, like we know. we won't answer that. We'll wait for somebody to hit us up for that kind of question. But Brandon, Monday Night Raw happened. What happened?
Well, after Hell in a Cell, we get 4 Hell in a Cell matches in 4 days, right? 3 days, 4 days. What? I don't know. I can't do math. 4 and 4. There we go. But yeah, we get Lashley taking on Xavier Woods inside Hell in a Cell. And as I said earlier, they started off with Lashley and the ladies just having like a little celebration at the MVP lounge. Then New Day or Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are throwing toast. So not pancakes anymore. They're throwing toast. So there you go. That's the new thing.
We're giving them a toast. What's your favorite kind of toast? Are wheat, rye, sourdough, what?
Probably like just wheat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. But yeah,
Lashley and Woods, they have a match. It was a match. It looked like it popped a rating, or at least sustained the viewership into the third hour, so it worked. Not the biggest fan of having the Hell in a Cell just thrown on television 2 times in 3 days or 4 days, but I mean that's just kind of the state of WWE at the moment, and Hell in a Cell as a whole is just not what it used to be because they have a pay-per-view for it every single year. But the match itself I thought was good. Lashley's similar to Roman. You want to keep him strong. Woods he's talented, he can work, but he's not, a believable threat to Lashley. And it was exactly what it should have been.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on MVP's shenanigans with the Drew match and with this one?
So in the Drew match in the main event, I thought the main event was really good. I thought they worked hard, and it was, hard hitting as it should be with this kind of blood finality, final boss feud. But once again, we see this with Hell in a Cell a lot, where they kind of, the whole point of the cage is to like keep people out and just have the 2 guys or however many people are in there, face off, and that's the finality of the feud. But once again, they have someone break into the cell, which at least this time, like, it made sense. You have the referee take a bump, the other referee has to come inside, MVP goes in, but then it also kind of goes into the fact of like Drew is beating up on MVP, and he's, this past his prime older veteran who shouldn't pose much of a threat to Drew. So, he kind of looks like an idiot, really going after him all this time and yada, yada, yada. And then, we get a roll up. I kind of wish the finish for it being like the final match to be a little more definitive. You can still have some shenanigans with MVP getting involved, but instead of a roll up, especially because we've seen so many crappy finishes in Hell in a Cell throughout the show, just have, a little bit of interference or something or another, and then Lashley puts on the Hurt Lock or whatever his like pinfall finisher would be, and have him win that way.
Yeah, the schoolboy, it was, it happened. Lashley, he needs something to where he can pin people too. Like the spear, it was cool. Roman's he's not really even using it anymore. And plus, Lashley, when he wrestled Roman, he beat him with the spear. So I don't understand why he can't just use that.
I know.
Or give him all big dudes have like power bombs. Give him like something else where he just like slams them down, or give him
the glam slam.
No, that was the B clamp by Jazz. Shout out Jazz. And originally the hook and ladder by Ricky Steamboat. Shout out Steamboat. But what about David Otunga? He called it the verdict. It was and Lance Cade actually used this too. It was a one-arm sit-out spine buster. Something like that would be cool. Just lays him out with it.
That's not exactly what Raquel Gonzalez uses, but
she uses the one-arm power bomb. Or, he can just spear people. That's fine.
Yeah, Lashley is doing fantastic work, and they might have like stumbled upon something with him. But I do agree. Maybe they need to add something to where they don't always want to do the submission, because like with the Drew thing, they don't want to have him, get tapped out all the time, which they did it once, but maybe having a pinfall or a quote unquote finisher would be a nice thing to add to the repertoire.
If they could time it right, how badass would it have looked if Drew was going for a Claymore and he got speared out of his boots?
It would look cool. The problem with the Claymore is like the way he kicks and his angles is, if he doesn't hit it, it doesn't look very good. He
Yeah,
looks
that one
he
he
looks like
hit
an
on
idiot.
that one he hit on AJ where he had to like really like be agile in the air. That was cool. That was a good one. At that elimination chamber, AJ was like springboard and he had to like really like throw himself up there.
Well, speaking of AJ Styles had a match on Raw. We're getting right into the Money in the Bank qualifying matches, and there is 8 people in the match. Right? I know it's for the women, but is it the same for the men as well?
I believe so. Yes.
Why is it 8? I have no idea. It seems like a lot for me, but they're picking 8. They have Ricochet taking on AJ Styles, and I mean, good God, if this match was like in New Japan or a couple years ago, this could have been a really big deal. But no, it's the opening match on Raw. But Ricochet did get the victory because Ricochet can do flippy doos, and it's a ladder match. So who cares what he's been booked like in the past year, 5 years? He's in the ladder match.
He's in the ladder match. New get up. He's not wearing the regular tights anymore.
Well, at least he's not wearing Sheamus's getup anymore.
Speaking of Sheamus, I'm watching Money in the Bank 2016. Him versus Apollo Crews. Apollo's been on the main roster for a very long time.
I mean, he challenged Finn Balor for the NXT title. That's how long he's been around.
Yeah, that was like, what, 2015? I'm talking about main roster-wise. I think he debuted the night after 32, so it's been about 5 years.
And now he's a Nigerian king.
Yes. Ricochet Styles, I mean, it was a cool match. Yeah, Ricochet, I mean, he does the flips. So, I mean, what if he actually wins this? What if out of nowhere he just wins Money in the Bank?
Well, this would be something that WWE does. I mean, it's almost like Otis last year, but even Otis has more credibility than what Ricochet has right now. But it's something that they would do is just, book him like crap and then just expect everyone to care when he finally, when he gets Money in the Bank.
I mean, he could win. He could have like another U.S. title run or something in between. Like, let's say he does win the briefcase, he could have something kind of like what Lashley did, have like a quick U.S. title run for like about like 80 to 100 days or whatever. In between, like eventually cashing it in or whatever, eventually going after the world title.
That is a possibility, but I mean, right now Sheamus is kind of on the shelf with his broken nose. I mean, right now Sheamus is in a handicap feud right now, and he ends up winning against Humberto Carrillo and Ricochet. So
yes,
that just shows how great Ricochet is being booked right now. Is he can't even beat Sheamus 1-on-1.
Well, no, I mean, look at Sheamus. Come on now, you really think he had a chance?
He can beat AJ Styles. Then what does that say about Styles?
I mean, well, Sheamus is bigger than AJ Styles.
Which is why Omos is going to the moon, baby.
So, Sheamus has more durability.
Okay. Even though has a broken nose and, on the
I mean, well, look, you have to look at the mass. I mean, Sheamus is what? 6'4", 6'5", 270. AJ's what? 5'10", 218. Yeah.
We get more Money in the Bank qualifying. We get a tag team match, and if both of the women win, then both of them get entered into it. We get Eva Marie. We have a backstage segment with her, and she says, "Oh, I couldn't wrestle because she had a cold." We're still in a pandemic. I don't think that was the exact right excuse to use, but I mean, whatever. Eva Marie then introduces her new assistant, her new whatever she's called, and her name is Dou Drop, which is something we saw on the internet as they filed a trademark, and we were like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay." And it made sense for why they never acknowledged her name, but the caveat is, quote unquote, Dou Drop was not happy about this being her name, and it seems as though, in her mind, her name is Piper Niven. So at least they got that right.
Yeah, she was about to say pipe, and she was like, Dou Drop. Yeah, this happened, man. I mean, Asuka and Naomi beat them. Asuka and Naomi are going to Money in the Bank. I thought Piper and Eva were gonna win, and I was like, "Oh my god, all the chaos is gonna be over. Eva's just gonna climb the ladder and win the briefcase." I really thought that's the direction they were going to go.
But luckily, that is not the way they're going. I mean, this Eva has already lost. She's already been pinned, so she's already kind of established as not a credible threat in the ring. Which, I mean, you can only go so far. I mean, you had Lana. who is, she's the hot one who isn't the best wrestler in the world, and for more often than not, she loses. And so then you release her, and then you bring in Eva Marie, who's even less talented in the ring than Lana is. And I think promo-wise, she's worse than Lana. So what exactly does Eva Marie bring to the table if she's going to do this gimmick?
I mean, she got cut off guard. Well, we'll see. We'll see when she's fully focused. We'll see what Eva Marie can do in the squared circle. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I think we have a better shot of No Way Jose winning the G1 of Eva Marie showing up and actually putting and tearing the house down, as the other guy would say.
Here we go with this Eva Marie nonsense. Or no, not Eva Marie. The No Way Jose. Here we go with that.
I'm still holding out hope. Okay. We were in a pandemic. He had to take a break. I think he's having
He's having a what? What is he doing? Brandon froze.
No Way Jose / whatever his indie name is.
Whatever his indie name is going to be.
Talk about Super Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, or Thicky Cross, as other people might say on the podcast.
All right, pick it up from there.
I thought that was well. We have another tag team women's match to enter into the Money in the Bank title match thingy majiggy. We get Nikki Cross, or Super Nikki, or whatever her new gimmick is. She was a superhero now, tagging with Alexa Bliss, who Alexa Bliss kind of killed Nikki Cross, and they were best friends and tag team champions, but then Alexa Bliss turned evil, and then now they hate each other, but then now they're cool being a tag team together, and we're just going to forget about all that because no one else remembers. So screw all that history, taking on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax and Nikki Cross and Super Nikki, and Alexa Bliss win. So your thoughts on all that?
It is what it is. Yeah, look, apparently this was Nikki Cross's idea. Okay. I want to say let's wait and see, but I don't know, man. Could she have hurricane level success, dude? We don't know. We really don't know, bro. Maybe this is why people don't have creative control in WWE.
As someone who likes Hurricane, Rosie, Mighty Molly, all that stuff, the major problem is it just came out of nowhere. Like, I know Nikki was kind of doing the inspirational stuff, which I always had a little bit of an issue with, because she was like, oh, you don't have to be pretty to be successful, even though Nikki Cross she's pretty. She's not the prototypical swimsuit model, but she's still an attractive young woman, and they do this in WWE all the time and yada, yada, yada. But it's just weird. It makes no sense why they're doing it, why the drastic change, and no real explanation why she's a superhero now. And then also the Alexa Bliss thing, as I talked about, is I think far worse than Nikki Cross being a superhero, because Nikki Cross was the first person who Alexa Bliss turned on when she was becoming a demon. And now Nikki Cross, who's supposed to be the she's a super positive superhero, but yet she's teaming with the antithesis of her and the big bad in WWE right now. So that makes literally no sense as well. The whole thing was a mess.
Well, you have to remember, people have been put in tag teams on random episodes of Raw that have hated each other before.
But did they even show disdain for each other? They were tagging. They didn't seem like there was that big.
Well, you see, they used to be tag team champions together. Nikki kind of just fell back
until Alexa Bliss killed Nikki Cross.
Okay, look, she kind of just fell into the groove. Okay, that's what happened. That's what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
You're making it really hard for me to defend this. Okay.
Well, I calls it how's it sees it. We get John Morrison defeating Randy Orton. He qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. And we also get Riddle defeating Drew McIntyre, and he qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Randy Orton got hit with the drip stick.
You just hate to see it.
I mean, I wish there was a little bit more enthusiasm. He hit him with the drip stick. Yeah. Vince, just let me come do commentary, man. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh my God, Money in the Bank is on my birthday. Who cannot wait for that?
Oh my God! You're gonna walk out Bullet Cash champion on your birthday.
I mean,
you know the wrestling rule. You don't win on your birthday.
And I guess maybe for as a birthday gift, I just don't have to depend on the Money in the Bank.
Oh, absolutely. No, we're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. Oh
Dang.
man. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean, congratulations to Riddle, you can see him being in Money in the. What if Riddle wins Money in the Bank? I could see that happening.
I mean, I could see it happening, but he can hold on to it. But I see Riddle and Orton doing more things together and leading them to be in the tag title match against Omos and AJ at SummerSlam.
Yes. Well, moving on, we're going to NXT.
Yes, we are moving on to NXT.
So
much happened, but we can only talk about so much. So.
Yeah, Brandon, you take it away. Keep going.
We got Adam Cole kicking off NXT. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly going to be facing off in a wrestling match at Great American Bash in a couple weeks, and they each were assigned to pick their own opponent for this week. Adam Cole did not want that, so he issued an open challenge. Carmelo Hayes is the one who answered the challenge. He was okay, he was a decent promo. He pulled the old ruthless aggression John Cena trick, and Cole and Hayes go back and forth. Cole ends up getting the win in a good match. I mean, Hayes, I think he debuted against Kushida a couple weeks ago. I mean, he's okay. Nothing really stood out to me, but it's a Cole match. It's going to be really good, and it was a decent opener.
Yes. Shout out to the former Christian Casanova. Yeah, man, a guy that made a name for himself on the Northeast indie scene, and going up against Adam Cole, baby, the brand himself. You love to see it.
Yes. But Kyle O'Reilly had his own person that he challenged, and he ran it back to the old junior heavyweight division in New Japan, when he took on Kushida in the main event in the last match on the show. And Kyle O'Reilly apparently he watched Hell in a Cell and realized that the small cradle, or the small package / cradle, is a great move to win. And he pulled it out against Kushida. He beats him. Kushida is the cruiserweight champion, so protected him a little bit. Really good match, kind of similar to the Cesaro Seth Rollins match. Very technical, even though maybe that match shouldn't have been as technical as it was. But Kyle O'Reilly gets the win. Really good match. And at the end, we get to the arrival of the Diamond Mine. We have Malcolm Bivens, Tyler Rust, a Japanese fellow who I cannot remember the name of at the moment, and the leader, Roderick Strong, which, if you listen to Curveballs and Chair Shots, Mr. X knows. I rightfully predicted that Roderick Strong was going to come back, and he was the leader of the Diamond Mine. He, after the breakup of Undisputed Era, he handed his papers to Mr. Regal with his wife, and he walked out. We did not see Marina Shafir anywhere to be seen here. Doesn't mean she won't show up and be a part of it, but we get the Diamond Mine debut with not the biggest names. I mean, Roderick Strong is good, but I don't know about him being the full-fledged leader. Luckily, Malcolm Bivens is there, and he can be a mouthpiece for kind of everybody.
Malcolm Bivens here. Now you know. Bell Biv DeVoe. You a Bell Biv DeVoe guy, Brandon?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're not a Bell Biv DeVoe guy?
I mean, I've heard of them.
I mean, you've heard Poison.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's about it. Once again, I don't know if this was on the recording that was thrown away, but great was Just Dance song back in the day on my Xbox 360 Connect.
Absolutely. Diamond Mine. It's going to be something. It is something that can be something. It can be a good something or a bad something, but yet and still, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be something. Does that make sense?
Something or other like that.
Does that make sense to the people?
Who's texting me?
Oh my!
Who's texting you?
That's funny. Stomp. I mean, I like Roderick Strong. We're going to talk about him, in a little bit here with the promo pick of the week. I've always liked Roddy. He did feel he didn't feel like as important, before he got with the Undisputed Era. And once he got with them, something just clicked, man. He was instantly cool, Mr. Ring of Honor was cool again.
Yeah, Strong was never a promo guy. And I don't know if it's him playing off of the other guys or just him kind of getting better and, kind of modeling himself after them, but he definitely did get better and got much more of a personality instead of like, he's almost like Daniel Bryan in a sense where, they were really great technical wrestlers, not the best promos in the world, but then just one day, such as something kind of happened and I still would say Daniel Bryan's better than Roderick Strong on the mic, but just something kind of clicked to where he showed a lot more personality. And hopefully now that he's a leader, he can be more of an alpha. Maybe we get, even more of an evolution from him.
Absolutely, because evolution is a what?
A certainty.
It's a mystery that no one sees.
Oh, okay.
We'll have a Motorhead quiz for you at some point in time during this podcast. Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? Give it a Ricochet. Why not? Picking up a big win heading into Money in the Bank.
Superstar Spotlight. I will go, since I was not a part of the Hell in a Cell recap, I will go from Hell in a Cell. I'll go with Bianca Belair. I thought that they had a really good match. I know you guys talked about it on the post show, which I did listen to a little bit. I did agree that the hair was a little bit too much. I like the gimmick and I think it's different, but there are times where I think they lean in a little bit too much. But the finish was fantastic. The KOD on the ladder looked just absolutely gnarly. And I'll give it to Bianca in her first Cell match.
Yes. All right, promo pick of the week: Roderick Strong's Ring of Honor farewell. A Ring of Honor farewell. Oh my goodness, Jesus. June 21st, 2016. Roddy, he was Mr. Ring of Honor. I mean, he dominated that brand for a very significant amount of time. It was kind of weird to see Roddy go.
Yeah, I mean, he was such a staple. He was there like so long. He kind of just carried ROH and was a part of ROH for like so many different generations. I mean, I think I have like ROH DVDs from, I don't know, like what, 2007, 2006, 5, and he's on them. And he left, going over to WWE. And kind of what I said, I mean, at the beginning, he wasn't like the best promo guy in the world. He kind of floundered. And then he joined up with Undisputed Era. And just something or another just happened and it clicked, and he's gotten a lot better since then. But strong emotions, and this was always kind of the fact with wrestlers and kind of weaker promo guys. If there's like real, genuine emotion behind what he's saying, it can carry and make it a lot better.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, close match pick of the week. Last week, I did Terry Funk from WWF, so we're going to stick with Terry Funk in WWF. We got Hulk Hogan taking on Mr. Funk in Saturday night's main event, January 4th, 1986. Now, Terry Funk in the WWF might not have been the best thing in the world. Obviously, he made more of a name himself in the NWA, but Funk and Hogan in 86, I mean, still a dream match, I would say. And, Funk, playing the heel, kind of backing off, and Hogan doing his thing. You know who's going to win in this match, but it's still fun to see these two legends have
it's baby blue Hulk Hogan, not even the red and yellow. January 4th, 86. 10 years later, I mean, you know. I was born, and here we are 25 years later, generational talents all within itself. It's been a wild ride. You love to see it. This is before Saturday night's main event was really the big deal that it became on NBC during that time period. So yeah, I mean, this was fine. It was cool. Terry Funk bumping all over the place for Hogan. You got Jimmy Hart out there. Vince McMahon on the call. Vince was a really underrated commentator. As we look back and you go watch those clips and you really listen to what he's saying, very underrated.
What a maneuver!
I pulled that one out at Ugwa. There was a slight botch, and I was like, "What a maneuver!" Shout out Vince. Have you heard the tuna at Subway isn't actually tuna? Have you heard this?
I have heard this.
I had one of those like last week. I'm a little scared, Brandon.
Yeah, well, as long as it just kind of is edible and it tastes okay, then who cares what it actually is?
I've had the lobster from Quiznos. I wonder if that's actually lobster. I'm kind of scared now.
I mean, I'm the guy who would demolish some Jack in the Box tacos, and I already know that ain't like 100% ground beef in it. So, as long as I don't die,
that's soy.
As long as I don't die, and I don't like get violently ill from food, I really don't care what's in it, to be honest. As long as it's like, ethically and, all that other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like Jack in the Box tacos are vegan. Not a lot of people know that.
Well, there you go.
They're actually healthy for you.
That's why greatest sports achievement of my life is eating like 6 Jack in the Box tacos and then going to soccer practice and running like 4 miles and didn't throw up once. I was so proud of myself.
Man, let me tell you a story. So me and some of my homies, right? We each go to we get some McChickens from McDonald's and then we get some carne asada fries. They eat all the food. I have like a few bites of the carne asada fries. I had like 2 McChickens. And then we go and wrestle for 2 hours. Nobody threw up. It's a good time.
That's just peak athleticism right there.
I know, that's when I was 19. That's when I had a lot left in the tank. I mean, I have a little left in the tank now, but I mean, back then the tank, it was full. You know what I'm saying? All right. Lodi Con is this weekend. Go see West Coast Design. Go see a lot of other great vendors and comic stars and actors and voice actors, and of course the WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, will be live in attendance. Brandon and I, we're gonna try to make it out to Lodi Con. I'm free on Sunday. I know Brandon, he has the day open. So if you see us there, come up, say hi. I don't bite. I don't know about Brandon. He may gnarl at you. What?
Only if you want me to.
Oh, okay. But pull a Bailey and just start biting people.
Only if you want me to.
Oh, okay.
Consent.
Yes, consent. But we pay for $5 for, and Brandon will bite you. What if we get a line for you to just bite people? What if we made like $200?
But you gotta be vaccinated. I ain't biting no one vaccinated.
Okay, you have to. Okay, you have to be vaccinated, and Brandon will come bite you. I'll do a picture and an autograph like a normal person. Follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast. Email us Bulletcast2 is in the number 2 sweet SWT at gmail.com. 104.7 FM KAPU in Watsonville every Friday night from 11 p.m. to midnight. iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Spotify, Patreon. California's open, guys. I went to a club after Ugwa last weekend, and then I went to a bar the next day. So it's different, man. Normalcy is it's approaching. It's on the horizon. It's kind of there, but still wear your mask in certain places where you don't feel as safe as always. And hey, stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, get vaxxed and waxed. We will talk to you guys next time.
When your face is in the dirt, you'll know your death is what I seek. We are the elite, and you are the weak, and I will always get back up.
This has been the broadcast. Thank you for listening.